All right, folks, you're watching Downshift Pass. My name is Chad, and I thank you for checking out another one of my reviews. Now, if you are new here, I'd like to welcome you to the channel. If you are not new here, welcome back to the channel. And guys, let's go ahead and hop right into it. Today, we're going to be reviewing this 2018 Volkswagen GTI 6-speed manual. Alright guys, and let's talk GTI. Now again, this is a 2018 model SE trim level with a 6-speed manual. Now as you know, the GTI is one of the original hot hatches. Combines practicality, excellent driving dynamics, all in one pretty amazing package. I absolutely adore driving this car and I cannot wait to take you guys on a drive with me. Now let's start with the styling here. Just taking a look at the front here, I think is where the GTI looks really menacing and nice. It kind of adds to the character of what the GTI is. Now, all Volkswagen GTIs have this red trim along the grille, also along the headlights. It's kind of their signature as far as what a GTI is. Now down below, you do have fog lights that come on the SE package as well. And coming along the side here, just take a look at those wheels. Now those are 18-inch wheels shod on 225 width tires. You do have some nice red brake calipers back there as well with the GTI logo. You also have a GTI logo on the front fender here. And of course, it being a hatchback at 168 inches, it's a charming little vehicle. Now coming along the rear of the car, guys, is where I think outside of the driving dynamics of the GTI is where it really shines. And you guys know I love real exhaust. And this one actually makes some really good noises. And with the drive modes, you can actually change the way the exhaust sounds. But I'm going to go ahead and let you guys hear what it sounds like in sport mode. Now, if you love the way that sounded, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for me. If you just like the way it sounded, hit that subscribe button anyway, as well as the notification bell, so you can be notified when I post something else that you might like a little bit more. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at what's under the hood of the GTI. All right, so taking a look under the hood of the GTI, this is Volkswagen's ever popular 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine. Now in the GTI, it produces 220 horsepower on premium fuel and 258 pound-feet of torque. Gas mileage is rated at 25 in the city, 33 on the highway with a combined total of 28 miles per gallon. And of course, my tester is matted to the 6-speed manual transmission. So coming from the rooter to the tutor, this is why the GTI is known as the all-around king. You got performance as well as practicality. Now back here is 23 cubic feet of space. Those rear seats do fold down 60/40. You do have a cargo cover as well back here, and you have a 12-volt power charger should you need it for any reason. Now let's go ahead and hop into the interior and talk about that. Now hopping into the rear of the GTI, and if I had to be totally honest, if I had to give this car a ding for anything, it would probably be the back seat room. Now Volkswagen says this car has 35.6 inches of leg room. I'll go ahead and hop back here so you guys can see knee room. You're right there. You do have a lot of space under the seat if you need to put your feet, so that's a great option. But other than that, it's a little bit of a tight fit, especially if you're trying to fit 3 across. Now keep in mind, this is a compact hatchback, so amongst all its peers and competitors, it's pretty much going to be similar across the board. Now as far as features back here, you do have 2 air vents as well as 2 map lights, which are LED, which is a nice added detail. You do have storage behind the front seat as well as storage in the doors, an armrest and 2 cup holders, and you do have a ski pass-through as well. But pretty standard stuff in the back seat. Let's go ahead and hop to the front. Now getting into the GTI is quite simple, guys. Here is the key. This car does have a keyless go system, but you do have your lock, unlock button, trunk, as well as a panic button, and it is Volkswagen's popular switchblade key. Now on the back here, you have a Volkswagen logo as well as the GTI logo at the bottom. But with the key in your pocket, if you want to get in, you just put your hand behind the handle and it'll unlock. There's a small indentation here. If you want to lock it, you just put your finger there and it will lock. But we'll go ahead and hop inside. Now as you step inside the GTI, now again guys, my tester is the SE trim level. And with the SE trim level, you do get some additional goodies. One of those goodies being these leather seats. Now black is the only color option you can get for the interior. If you opt for the leather seats, you do get this red stitching along the seats as well as the steering wheel, and just a lot of little additional red goodies, which is more so like a GTI trademark. Now you do have power windows front and rear, all one touch. You have a heated rear view mirror as well as automatic headlights. Now this car comes with a ton of safety features as well. So you have a blind spot monitor as well as rear traffic alert and a front assist, which will slam on brakes for you if it notices you getting too close to someone in front of you. All right, and coming along the center stack here, this is where Volkswagen provides you with a nice large 8-inch screen, has really good graphics as well. You control your media, your radio. This is where you hook up your Bluetooth. Of course, this car comes standard with Android Auto as well as Apple CarPlay. And if you heard that noise, I'm going to show you what that was. Yeah, so when you put it into reverse, the Volkswagen symbol actually pops out because that's where they hide the camera. And I think that's really actually a pretty neat feature. So the screen for the reverse camera is pretty good, nice and legible. Now moving along the bottom here is where your climate controls are. These are manual controls. If you're looking for automatic controls, you will have to step up to the Autobahn edition, but you do have heated driver and passenger seat. And then coming along, you have storage space down here. As we continue along here, this is where your start stop button is, your different drive mode button, as well as the traction control, and the most important thing, your 6-speed manual transmission. And let's talk normal, sport, as well as custom again. When you press your drive modes, it goes through your different selections. You have eco, normal, sport, as well as custom. And I love how the background changes to kind of denote the mode that you're in. Now, if you're in custom, you can actually adjust it to your liking. You can adjust the steering, the drive system, the front differential lock, adaptive front lighting system, which is how much the lights swivel as you're driving, and the engine sound. Now, this is how the driver of this car, the owner of this car, has his set up. But for the sake of you as well as me, I'm going to keep it in sport mode for our drive. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and hit the road. All right, ladies and gentlemen, setting off in the 2018 GTI. And the owner of this car has named this car Scoops. And you know what? After driving it for some time, I absolutely see why. Volkswagen says this car will do 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds. Definitely feels like a 6-second car to be. 220 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque. And the power comes on in a nice, smooth, linear fashion, pretty much like the GLI that I did a review on. I'll go ahead and post that also in the comments. So if you want to check out my review about that, you can. Now, another thing that makes this car just such a delight to drive is the transmission. You know, it's the 6-speed manual. The clutch is just so light. The throws are short. They're precise. They slide right into gear. And when you need that power, it's right on tap no matter what gear that you are in. Now, peak torque is at 1700 RPM, so you're kind of always in it, no matter what gear you're in. And as we merge onto the highway, let's just talk a little bit about the drive. If you're everyday driving this car, I have it in sport mode right now. It's not too uncomfortable. The biggest difference that I notice in sport mode versus the other modes is the throttle tip-in is a lot more sensitive in sport mode. You actually feel it move a little bit faster. If you're holding on to the gas and you're changing the modes, when you put it in sport mode, it feels like it gets a surge of power or something. I don't know how or why, but it feels really good. And the steering. I think the steering is nice and neutral, neutrally weighted when it's in eco or in normal mode, but in sport mode it's heavy, but not too artificially heavy like a lot of the cars are doing nowadays. It's just, honestly, it's perfect. Also, going down the highway here, one thing I'm really impressed with is the road noise. This car is actually relatively quiet, a lot quieter than I anticipated it being. You don't hear a lot of wind noise, you don't hear a lot of tire noise coming in. It feels really buckled down and solid when you switch lanes. It feels really flat as you're switching lanes. Definitely inspires a lot of confidence for some spirited driving if that's your thing, which if you're watching this, I hope it is. Definitely my thing. Now, I wish I had the car a little bit longer to drive so I could speak more high level to the handling characteristics of it, as far as the twisties and all of that, but you know, that's what this car is purpose built for. And I think that's the biggest thing with this car, is it feels purpose built, but purpose built for multiple things. So you got the practicality with the hatchback, pretty decent cargo room, pretty nice interior space up front. You know, like I said, the back is a little cramped, but it'll serve its purpose for what you need. And then purpose built for performance. All right, guys, so as you know, we are definitely going to do a stereo test on this car. Now, again, this being the SE version, it has the standard stereo in the GTI. The Autobahn has the Fender audio system, but definitely make sure you cut it up a little bit, because I think you'll be as surprised with this stereo as I was. Enjoyed that, guys, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and if you really loved it, hit that notification bell as well, so you can be notified the next time I do a car review, and obviously going to do a stereo test for you guys. Stereo sounds really good to me. You have nice highs as well as lows. The bass levels are pretty consistent. It's not too boomy, it's not too harsh on the speakers. Overall, it sounds really solid, especially for a standard audio system. I can only imagine that Fender audio system maybe having a little bit more clarity. That's probably the only thing I'll ding it for, but to be honest, that's just me nitpicking if I had to say anything. That stereo is actually, like I said, it's a solid stereo. And just a couple of other things to note about the drive. This car has really good sight lines. See, you have this little small window up here. It actually works really well on the passenger side. I don't know if you guys can notice it over there. As far as visibility goes, not a lot of blind spot. Definitely a lot of windows to see out of, so you won't have any problems with that. Brakes also feel really good in this car. As you get on them really hard, you feel it clamp down. They don't feel mushy. It's a nice firm brake pedal. All right, folks, I'm just rolling into my final thoughts on the 2018 Volkswagen GTI. They say a perfect automobile does not exist, but you know what? This is definitely damn near the top. It's just really good. Practicality, performance, If you want the 6-speed manual, you have that. You do have the option of a dual clutch transmission. I've had the pleasure of driving a dual clutch, and honestly, it's a spectacular transmission option as well. Although if I was to spec mine out, it would definitely be just like this with the manual transmission. You have different drive modes to choose from. Got a nice large sunroof, heated leather seats. It just comes equipped exactly how you would want a driver's car to come equipped. You know, you have the perfect merge of two worlds. I feel like this car just does it all. And a lot of the reviews you read will pretty much just say the same thing. And I think it's really hard to understand what they're saying until you get behind the wheel and be able to actually drive one. So if you are in the market for a GTI, you know, let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know what you might be cross-shopping it with, because I would be curious to know what other cars you're looking at if you're also looking at a GTI. But I can tell you one thing, you're probably going to end up with a GTI. All right, guys, so that concludes the review on the GTI. I definitely appreciate you watching. Again, please hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you can be notified next time that I post a review. Also, tell a friend to tell a friend. I appreciate you guys watching per usual, and I'll see you in the next review. All right, bye-bye.